Ladies and gentlemen of the LFF, welcome to Sunday Night Prize Fights here live on the SRG Universe Twitch channel. I am the prize fighter, Simon Davner, and joining me tonight is my word bearer's brother, Praise be. Praise be.
Praise be, Father
It
Light.
is Elder Dan. How are you tonight, buddy?
I'm
Wait,
doing
wait,
good.
wait, wait, wait.
What?
Simon,
What?
did you
What?
screw around with the intro?
No, I didn't screw around with the intro.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay.
All right, but folks,
Praise
we
be.
have a very important night tonight. Not only do we have a title on the line, we also have the announcement from the Spiders. That's right, new Spider rankings. We're gonna see what goes up, what comes down, what's world, what's underworld. Have there been any trades in the lower divisions? We will find out later. But first up, we have a triad title match. We have Slade Halliday, the franchise, your champion, taking on the once in a generation, generational talent, the GOAT, Brock Smith. That's right, folks. We found him. We
Oh,
found him. He is back. He is unharmed to an extent.
yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Ref Dave, who is always going to put on a show. I mean, whether it's dice or with his mouth, he's going to put on a show. And we're going to hop right into our predictions. Dan, who do you got in this matchup?
So Slade Holiday, the Triad champion, using Oliver version 2 versus the GOAT using New GOAT, and Rep Dave using the bad boy, Joey Janela. I
Yeah.
I gotta go with the champ because he's been on a tear with the defenses of the
That
Triad belt. And
that he
Jordan
has.
Oliver B2 is really nasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Folks, I want to point something out. Slade Holiday won the Triad title in the fastest Triad match we have ever had. It lasted what the production truck, what was it like?
It was about 2 minutes and 59 seconds.
And only like three turns?
Yeah, it was 3 turns. Yeah.
And it was only
Yeah.
three turns. I mean, this Jordan Oliver gimmick is disgusting. You roll power, your cards with Avalanche are also leads. Guess what has Avalanche? All of his finishes. It is disgusting. But then we also have the GOAT, Brock Smith. That reroll comes in so clutch in this matchup because Slade could win a turn and then Brock could re-roll and him and Ref Dave could tag, or he could re-roll and steal the turn. It is gross. Also, I mean, I'm not saying he is, but he might also maybe be running an unstoppable. We don't know. And then you have Ref Dave with Joey Janela. Joey Janela, disgusting. Whenever your opponent rolls 10, you get a
Rolls a
card
10.
back,
Yep, add a card from discard pile to hand.
which is gross. You can just get back the finishes that you know are good. You can get back the stops. It's disgusting. But I think with the belt effect, because Slade Holiday with the belt effect gets to run 3 skill cards. So he can run 3 skill stops. I wouldn't, but he could. He could run 3 skill recursion cards. He could run 3 skill finishes. I mean, it's great. He's not going to, but I'm just saying. And but he gets that. But also, whenever his opponents team up, whenever they roll the same skill, he gets to draw a card. He gets card advantage. So, basically when you guys team up, everyone gets to draw a card, which is gross. But I'm gonna give it to Slade Holiday simply on the belt effect. Also because that gimmick is just so gross. I mean he rolls power, it's a lead. He could win again in 3 turns. You have no idea.
It could possibly even be sooner than three
Yeah, it could even
turns.
be one
Uh,
turn. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
I mean, we've
We
also
might see. Oh,
Oh yeah, I
you
mean, like we've
continue.
also seen a triad title defend retained by the Cannoli in what was it? 7 turns production truck.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about when you lost the Grand Gathering.
Yeah, shush.
Yes, but here the Word Bears are giving a clean sweep to
Yeah.
the champion, the franchise, Slade Halliday. And but folks, after that, we have historic announcements. We got the Spiders. We got GM Calais. We got Robert the Brain Dunn. We have Drew Madsen. Maybe the Grump. We're not entirely sure, but we'll definitely at least have a quartet.
Yeah.
We will at least have a quartet of the Spiders to a quorum, if you will, to make decisions. I mean, now is the time. I mean, like Yasmin, her title reign came to an end. Does Runtime Terror stay in the top? Does it drop down? But if it drops down, what's moving up? Dan, what do you think is dropping out of World? Let's get some predictions on that.
Ooh, I gotta say, the af the only time Runtime Terror was a menace was with Yasmin when defending the belt. As soon as Dan won it, I feel like it's gonna be a nice easy swap. Runtime Terror down to Underworlds, Loudmouth Leo back to Worlds.
Hell, yeah. I could also predict that yeah, no, I'm throwing Runtime Terror in there because no one else has really been able to unlock, the craziness of it except for the person who created it, which is Yasmin. I would also predict probably Slime Girl is dropping down. I mean, like
Yeah.
she was up there because Chris Tapley, of course, won the was the number one contender for a while with Slime Girl, but I feel like no one else has really been able
Who
to put up the numbers with Slime Girl.
who
So
else
I
is
predict
in the top 32?
we got Liger, we got Drew Madsen, but I'm on a quest to
Yeah.
keep Drew Madsen up
Yeah.
up in world.
Oh, yeah. Though Drew has to stay in the top 32.
Yeah, Drew has to stay in. Ariel Lipstick has to
Yeah.
stay in. We also have Liger. We have RVD. I think we're gonna see some movement from Kenny Omega though, because Kenny Omega did win PAX, piloted by Matt Nealon. Yeah, and he's number one. Matt
Yeah.
Nealon is number one contender. He won PAX with Kenny Omega. He made top 4 of the Pixel Palace Pandemonium CAC with Kenny Omega.
What?
So I think we're gonna see
Ooh,
some movement from that.
possibly.
Yeah, possibly. I
You,
mean,
you know, you know what? Move AJ out of Worlds.
move
Ugh,
AJ out of
that's
world.
not
That is
happening.
a
That's
hot take.
Hot take.
That
That
is
That's
a
my
hot
Ian
take.
level hot take.
Oh god.
Oh, that is disgusting.
That is
Hot take right
disgusting.
there.
What? Having 2 10s is perfectly fine.
No, it's not.
As long as
Stop.
you roll nothing but 5s.
I mean, we're gonna have to ask. I mean, let's see. I mean, like we've seen Alambre Cybernetico just go on tears with AJ, but when it comes to when it comes to the finish rolls, it's been nothing but 5s.
That is true.
Yeah.
We will have a Faction Wars update. Hopefully,
Can I hear you?
yeah, they can hear me.
Cool.
They can-
Oh, okay.
We will hopefully have the final match of Crime Wave versus the Line being played during Sunday Night Fights off stream. So we will hopefully
Oh,
know who
Who
will be
facing the constellation.
facing the Constellation
Yes.
in the finals.
yes, folks. If you have not kept up on this, the Constellation took down the higher class. They took down the 2 teams that made the finals last year. They took down Just Business in round 1, and they just took down the higher class. So they're sitting pretty in the finals, waiting for this. Crime Wave has a 1-point lead over the Line right now,
That was
and it is whatever. Thank you, production truck. But but it all comes down to this. One, it's a best of 3, I believe.
Three.
Yeah.
It is a best of 3 to decide who is meeting the Constellation in the finals of Faction Wars. Hopefully, we will have just any news from it. Like it would be amazing if we could break some news, on Sunday night prize fights.
One would hope.
One would hope. Dan, who do you
Okay.
think's gonna win in that? Let's get a prediction on that. The Line or Crime Wave?
Oh,
Your former faction.
Oh,
Ooh. Next question. Let's go with that. Not
Oh.
Next
even-
question. Boo. Cop out answer. I'm going with Crime Wave on this one. That's what I predict. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Andrew Mackey is a fantastic player, but I think the high pressure will get to him, and I think Crime Wave is moving on in this one. But
Who is the best 2 out of 3?
it's
Between-
Big Bad. It's King Kong Dundee versus Brett the Metalhead.
that is
The players,
that is
I
quite a
meant.
matchup.
Oh, John Von Masick versus
Is it Mackey?
Mackey, yeah.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
we have the Centipede versus the Harm City Hitman.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Who do you got, Dan?
I
Come on,
got
you
it.
gotta give us an
Come on,
answer.
Dan.
Come on, Dan.
I'm
gotta
not
go
holding.
Cry-
I'm not judging you right now.
We're not moving on until you give us
we
an
have,
answer.
We have 2 minutes. We're not
Well,
moving.
he's been the sweeper for the Line. I gotta go. the line.
You gotta go with
Yeah.
Andrew
Yeah.
Mackey.
Start-
Oh,
Yeah.
so we're
Starting off
splitting
next
it.
week, Daniel Elder Dan will be replaced by Mikey Nichols. Anyway, I digress.
Oh, please. Please don't.
Yeah. I do have one more prediction for Project Spider.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel
who?
like King
Okay.
Brian Cage moves up.
Oh,
You
yeah.
think King Brian
I-
Cage
I-
moves up?
Yeah. I want him moved
Huh.
up. I don't want to deal with Carlos's super aggressive King Cage deck anymore.
Well, but King Cage hasn't been. I mean, like King Cage has been
Yeah.
putting up results, but it hasn't been winning. Is the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's gonna hurt his case. I mean, I could see him moving up into like maybe Underworld, but at the most, but also, folks, there could also be some trades between the GMs. I mean, like you could have some moving from United States to the Intergalactic Division. Those don't move up based on points. Those can be traded between the GMs. So we might be hearing some trades tonight. It feels like the draft
Ooh.
night. Am I right? All right, but we have a title match to get to. So, folks, stick around as we bring you the Triad Championship match. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sunday Night Fights and welcome to your title match of the evening. And it is set for one fall.
One fall.
Introducing first from Beer City, Michigan, representing Candy Shop Talk. He is Ref Dave.
Hello, LFF, you beautiful people. I can't believe the ghost came out and the kid stayed up past his bedtime. Let's put them both back in the ground.
All right. And introducing his opponent from Detroit, Michigan, representing the big picture. He is the Midwest Coast Tag Team Champions. He is the once in a generation generational talent. He is the GOAT, Brock Smith.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling excited. Both of these rookies are trying to make a name for themselves, but don't worry. After this match, you will have a name for yourself. You will be known as Brock's bitch.
Oh, God. All right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man. Here come the fines. I can feel them. And now,
Yeah, I thought we
introducing...
had different standards and practices on SRG.
Shut up, I'm doing introductions.
Zero morals.
Shut up. All right. We got to get this train wreck going. And now, introducing your champion from Atlanta, Georgia, representing Star Maker Productions. He is the undisputed, reigning, and defending LFF Triad champion. He is the franchise Slade Holiday.
And the only title there is to be named in the LFF. And LFF, you can thank me so we don't have to hear Brock Smith commentating on this match tonight.
Beautiful. All right, gentlemen, your referee for this match will be Brian Wadeford Schmidt. He will take you through the beginnings. Best of luck to all of you.
Good
luck, fellas.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Triad title match. I'm going to start with asking for play areas. Where will dice count? I will first start with the once in a generation generational talent. Go. Where's your dice count?
Right in this ring here.
All right. To our referee, David, where is it counting?
In the dice tray, right here.
And to our champion, where is it counting?
Nice trade.
If you want to call a cocked, you may call it. Just add a dice from your
Folks, we will
to cover
have
it.
ready in a minute.
Spectacles, Brock.
Valiant.
Ref Dave.
Valiant.
Valiant. All right, 3 Valiants.
Valiant, you're not a face.
Targets for gimmicks. The only one that I believe does target is Ref Dave. So Ref Dave, who will you be targeting with your gimmick?
Slade.
Okay. For
Makes sense.
and-
Not bad.
Okay. Any other targeting for this match? I believe Slade.
I will target Slade for finishers.
Okay. Slade.
I don't have anything, but I'll target Ref Dave.
All right. Gentlemen, I will mute here, but good luck. Have fun. Any questions, please let me know. Let's dance. Ding. Ding.
Ding.
Take care where the cut is.
Ding.
All right, what a matchup we got. We got
No.
Joey Janela, we got Jordan Oliver version 2,
Friendly
and we got the
Oh.
GOAT Brock Smith.
Good
Folks,
luck,
we will
you
have
guys.
predictions
Gonna
on
need it.
in a second. Get those bits
Yeah,
ready.
okay there,
Bet
buddy.
some bits, win some bits, lose some bits, probably. And here
Good luck,
we
fellas.
go.
I flipped APOC for the champion of Kickstarter.
5.
6 with the reroll.
From 10.
Grapple
Reroll.
10, but Brock
So,
does get the
10 to an
reroll.
11. Look at that.
Ooh.
Put
Oh,
that card back down,
Brock
Ref
with the
Dave.
reroll.
Don't
gets
even
the-
think you're getting that.
I didn't even
Brock
pick it
with
up.
the reroll.
Kid.
Like we said, this reroll
Good.
is going to come in
No.
handy.
We'll
Oof.
go a tactical pass and bury. Veteran
Ooh.
maneuver
Tactical
right there.
pass
Pass
and
and
berry
bury.
of the epoch.
The young vet move. I love it. Is Chris Pate here all of a sudden?
Grapple 10 again.
Detroit.
Detroit.
Another 10 right there for you boys.
Bump on
Okay.
tens.
So that's a bump on 10s between Ref Dave and Brock Smith. Now they can only
Wait a
play on
second.
themselves,
Wait a second.
on each other.
Okay, never mind.
Grapple 8.
I'll 7 if you, Brock.
Just
Ooh.
FYI, guys, remember my
Ooh.
title shot says if y'all both roll the same skill, I get to draw 2 cards.
Sounds good.
Beautiful.
I'll pass.
So
Brock with the first, and Brock's passing again.
Tech 6.
Power 5.
I smell something.
What did Rough Dave get?
Keeping with the
Strike.
theme, I will also pass.
All right.
Oh,
Big pass.
Passing again. Love it.
5.
Top 7.
6. I'll re-roll.
Reroll.
2 and 8. Look at that. Oh my god, this is amazing. Did you roll grapple by chance, Slade Holiday?
I did.
Oh no.
All right, I'm gonna play
Oh,
this
no.
lead finish Brock bottom for
Lead-
ya.
Oh, the
It's a
Brock
grapple.
bottom.
That's a grapple.
Yes.
Well, it's gonna be it's good.
All right.
oh.
Dave,
Now,
not
any
stopping it.
words here? Any words
It-
other than goodbye? Big 5 to a 6. Womp womp.
Oh my god.
I got 6.
We're going to ground meter 1.
Brock
folks.
bottom.
meter
wasn't
one.
strong
Bottom
enough.
I mean, listen. Listen, that's where
Yeah.
those rerolls come in handy.
Agility 9. No.
6 with the reroll.
Agility 9.
I'll take it with the reroll.
It's
To,
not a reroll.
8, you got it.
Slade
Slade
Holiday.
Not
with
a
the
sub,
first
is it,
turn.
Brock?
No, it's a
It's
grapple
grapple.
8.
Slade Holiday with the first turn, the champ. What does he got cooking?
And I want to
Will be-
pass.
And it's a pass.
Be like y'all's first.
Passing and playing finishers.
Right
sub 7.
Agility 10.
Ooh.
Detroit.
Detroit?
Skibbity.
Oh, this will be fun. I like this move.
Skibbity.
Pass and bury.
No, God, no.
Oh,
Ah, man, we got hit him with the
Oh,
TikTok brain rot, bro.
just you wait.
Live right now, folks.
6.
30,000 live.
Try get
8. So we'll bump Slade.
So Slade and Brock
Ooh.
will bump.
They bump. Okay.
They can only play cards on each other.
Power
Not
10.
involved.
Power 10.
Ooh,
Power 10!
Power 10.
Power 10!
Finish
Slade,
sub
don't
on
forget the draw.
Brock.
Wait, what?
Oh,
He has
I
to
got
draw
that
first.
burn down, lead grapple. And then we at
Ref,
the
I believe
bottom,
Slade
where
forgot
we
to
may
draw.
discard it of our
Uh-oh.
decks. Brock
Oh.
bottom.
Well, his
Hold on.
Or he just
for
did.
you?
buy some light tubes.
Real
Number
quick,
22.
Slade, did you draw for your turn?
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Just want to confirm.
Thank you very much.
We'll add those.
Hey, that's me. Hey, Dan,
What was
that's
the
us.
Hey. Oh no! Wait! I'm not a fan of that.
Top
I
7.
love it.
Power 10.
Agility 10.
Oh,
Power
All right,
10
so that's
bump.
another bump between Brock and
yeah.
Now
and
wait,
Slade.
can I float Brock, or can I float and kick Brock out?
I think you would just join the bump.
You would just join the bump.
You would join the bump.
Sorry, I'm gonna join the bump then.
All right, 3-way bump.
Oh,
I like
Draw
bumping.
for the bump. Yeah, okay.
Oh, because of the
I
10.
did now.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Strike 6 with the reroll.
6.
7.
I'll reroll.
Oh,
2 and
reroll
9.
2.
Look at that.
2 and 9. Brock with the
Ooh.
turn.
2, 3, 4,
6
5,
to a
6,
9.
7, 8, 9,
Giggity.
10, 11.
Nice.
I will discard.
Cards.
I've been winning a lot of turns, Ref Dave. I don't think you know what that's like.
Mm-mm.
My God.
I even tried to use my entrance, it didn't work.
This is what
I'll discard Cold Snap, and then on Slade, I will play Set Up the Sledgehammer, follow-up sub.
Ooh.
Ref Dave have anything. Does he have 5? He has an active 14.
That's good.
I'll shuffle back
All
Cold
right.
Snap, and then I will draw 2 cards. Then either of us roll
So-
sub.
So
finish
Brock
for a
has 2
breakout
10s
roll,
on
it's +1.
breakout.
And Slade has a
1 card, 2
6.
card.
Yeah, I don't know what his
What's-
sub is.
I'll discard real quick.
We have the
I'll
technology.
discard
Hold on.
finish sub
He has 2 8s now for breakout rolls.
to
That-
6
that's-
with a reroll.
Not the worst.
Power 10.
Power
Ooh.
10.
Oh,
reroll.
God.
Hold up, Brock. Rerolling.
Let's see.
Show me that
Oh.
tech,
Out of-
Brock. Show me that tech.
Grapple 8.
Oof.
All right, Slade with the turn, and his
I only play for
avalanche cards
myself
are now
here.
leads.
Yeah.
And Brock did discard that cold snap, but I would assume he wouldn't do that unless he had the 13 in his hand or the 25.
Yeah.
I'm going to play April Bomb on Brock. Can't be stopped.
Unstoppable.
Well, I can't stop.
Love it. Beautiful.
Ooh, yeah.
Turns
Ooh,
off Brock's
that-
go.
Power
Skull
10.
Actually,
Rain.
Triple 10.
Detroit. Okay, it's not as fun as when you guys all roll 10s as well.
I got
All right, but that's a three-way
Elbow.
bump.
Three-way bump.
three-way bump.
But that turns off Brock's alien invasion
I
against
will
Slade.
Tech 6.
Yeah.
discard-
Strike 8.
Ooh,
Sorry.
Gotta wait for
Eight.
slow ass Brock.
Yeah, it's the
Oops,
brain.
sorry,
It's the,
slow-
it's the
slow
poll that I
Mr.
ran
It's
Brock.
okay.
into.
It's okay. You won't get
It's the
banned.
poll
You
I
won't
ran
get
into. I'll
fined for
discard
that.
Whirlwind Whip for sub 9.
Sirs.
All right.
Let's see.
Brock takes it with a 9. He has a follow-up.
4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
8, 9, 10, 11. I know I just counted. I'll discard Sweet and Salty Impact Drop. And how about this for you, Slade? We'll do a snap super kick. Finish strike.
Ooh.
Oh, generic.
None in play.
No other strikes in play?
Nope.
That's good as well.
Oh wow.
Also
Ooh.
good for me.
Does-
Oh
Alright.
wow.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Grab me to 1.
7, 2, and 8. We'll get there, folks. Don't worry.
7, 2, and 8.
Don't worry. We'll get there,
8.
folks.
8.
8.
Get off of him.
I rolled an 8.
We're just boosting up the crowd meter.
Crowd
Sounds good.
Oh,
meter
change in target.
2.
Oh.
He's
No,
changing target
change
to
to
Brock.
target.
5.
Oh.
Not changing targets.
Right now.
Sub 7.
Love when you got a ref in the match.
Look at
Knows
that.
exactly what
Turn.
they're doing.
So, Ref Dave finally gets a turn.
Wow.
We're gonna try.
I will
On
say this is
Slade,
more
I'm just gonna
ref-
try elbow shot.
Dave
Lead
has
strike.
done more refing in this match than he has on any Candy Shop Talk match.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Grapple 8.
Jilly 9.
Sub 5.
All right.
Slade.
Slade with the
Slade
10, the
with the turn.
franchise champion.
Pass and bury apron ball.
Hey, bro,
All right, I like it.
Sounds good.
Good call.
Sub 9.
Yeah.
Full 10.
Grapple 5.
Ah, no tag
Alright.
ups yet.
Yeah.
Let me
0.
get
Because every time
Slade
one of them
legendary
has
monkey flip. Follow up grapple.
Ooh.
or no effect.
No effect.
Slade
Blank,
doesn't have a
because you have
stop and play.
nothing.
So
That's good.
this
Oh.
man,
Ooh.
they're going hard against
The champ.
Power 5.
Strike 8.
Grapple 10.
Oh, look at
Ooh.
this guy.
Ooh.
Finally put down the beer. Starts winning turn
That's right.
rolls.
Let's try finish sub. Slade South Beach Crab.
Sorry, I thought I won the roll. What'd you roll?
10.
he rolled a
Grapple
10.
10.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's
So
all
you
right.
Well, yes, sub.
Yep, sub
Yeah,
finish.
sub
No
eight.
other subs.
Ooh.
Yes, I have it. Yes, he should. Slade, come on, man, don't do this to
Go
us.
with legendary acknowledgement. Follow up.
Legendary acknowledgement,
Copy
baby.
sub. Each player draws 1 card.
Friendly draw.
Put the ones in the air for the tribal chief.
Power 5.
Strike 8.
That's
All
useful.
right.
Slade
Slade
gets
with the
and
turn.
has a follow-up in play.
I love it.
Does he throw a finish? That's the big question right now.
Well, the finish. What is it? The finish sub is in discard pile.
Skibbity.
So-
Yes. Oh God.
Oh God, he's
Brock
starting.
whip.
The brain
That's a
rot.
very
The brain
good
rot
sub.
is starting, folks.
Pass and bury.
That's a very finished sub. All right, all right.
Wow.
Grapple 10.
Tech 7.
Tag
Tag up.
6. Should we tag?
We won't tag. Ref Dave, you can have this one actually.
What? Boo!
Oh.
I think I'll keep sitting
Boo.
on the sidelines here.
You.
Let's
Ow.
try on Slade. Super Steel Chain Punch. Follow up strike with
Ooh.
a strike in play.
Oh, it's no DQ.
Oh.
It's no DQ. Is that a finish?
No, it's
No.
not finished.
It's not a finish,
That's
but
good.
it
It just
does
boosts the
bump
skills.
the set.
Plus 1
yeah.
power, plus 1 strike.
Yeah.
Tag 6.
Strike. 10.
Tech 7.
We got
Second.
tag.
Slade, I'll take this one actually, Slade. And since you rolled technique, I'll shuffle in Gizmo's Revenge as well.
So we're tagging.
Take the tag.
Yeah, we'll tag.
There we go. First
Tag.
tag
I'm fine
of
with this one.
of the match, folks.
I rolled a 6. You rolled a 7. So you're first.
I will go first.
All right. Love it.
Ooh.
I'll pass and bury, actually.
Okay.
I'll pass and bury, finish strike.
Love it. Slade does have a
I
follow-up
will
to play on
play
Ref
finish
Dave.
strike on
Bennett strike, no strike.
Finish
Ref
strike.
Dave.
Which one is it?
No
Finish
other strikes in
strike.
play.
No other strikes in play.
And that's
Ooh.
just a regular finish strike, right?
Yes,
You
yes,
had- what
it
is-
is.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
fluke.
I'm gonna play half crab on that.
Oh, he was prepared for the
Oh.
unstoppable.
Ooh.
Because Brock might be running his
Prepared.
unstoppable, though.
Rebel 8.
Deck 6.
House 7.
All right, Brock with the turn.
Rocky.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to use a veteran move, and I'm going to discard the finish submission there. What a beautiful top deck that was. And then on Slade, Cosmic Arm
Actually-
Trap leads up.
I messed up. Oops, sorry.
Make him
Language.
discard the bottom card.
What is
Actually,
that?
Power 8. It's all good though.
Lead sub.
I forgot
We'll,
my card.
we'll each discard the bottom card of the deck. Since it's a triad, though, we can add those to hand.
Yeah, I know.
Who's that playing on? I can't.
On you. It's on you, Slade.
Yeah, it's
Lead sub.
Each sub, they will
Lead
each
sub's
discard
good.
the bottom.
All right.
No, they'll draw it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
I
they
forgot
discard
I
it and
had
then
a
they could
key
add it to
for all the
hand.
people in the crowd. I'll remember next time.
finish sub.
Finish strike. We'll add those to hand.
All right.
Ooh.
Brock's playing a dangerous game over here.
Yeah.
8.
No the 8.
9. Agility 9.
That floats
So
looks
Slade-
pretty good, doesn't it, Dave?
It's probably gonna go. Yes. What did you roll, Brock?
I rolled an 8.
Yeah, we're gonna floats that.
So Rep
So
Dave
that's-
and
we bumped it,
Slade.
right?
So
Slade.
Dave
You and I bump.
and Slade bump.
Okay.
All right. And
I
then
got 11
they
cards in
roll
my hand,
off.
fellas. I got get something ready.
Man, we don't have to pay attention. We're commentators.
Get rid of
Yeah.
knee lift. Okay.
Discard knee
Right,
lift.
Slade,
Now,
you and me
Ref
are bumping.
Dave.
Yep.
That's
We
a
got
power
10.
I got a power
10.
7.
That's a power 10.
Oh.
We got 10.
It's
All
actually
right.
power 8, but go ahead, take your power 10. Yeah, I know. I just told everyone I wouldn't forget, and then I did. But yep, it's you, Slade.
It
I
did,
think
that's
it's
an
all the,
8.
the brain cells you lose from drinking beer, Ref Dave. You might want to get that
I
checked
think it's the
out.
brain cells you lost getting hit by a bat, Brock. So why don't
I
you
don't know
watch your
what
mouth?
I don't know what this
my
bat
God.
thing everyone keeps talking about. It was a poll. That's what the doctors told me.
I gotta get rid of
All right, but since you
Ultra
rolled power,
Cosmic Death.
sub
Clutch.
is also a lead.
Yeah.
So
I'll hit my
if Dave has
Finish sub on Ref Dave.
the number 2 in his hand,
With
Also
a
technically
finish,
elite. Finish sub.
and a lead. Yep. I'm going to alien
Called it.
boot drop that.
ooh, friendly
Alien
draw.
boot
We draw a card.
Friendly
Oh,
draw.
We actually see both versions, the power and grapple. That's
Yeah.
Detroit.
Also a 10.
Oh, what?
Deck 6.
All right.
That is fun.
just the disappointment.
Out this
From
card.
I know.
Japanese arm drag. 8.
Good 5. It's you, sir.
Ooh.
Brocky
I'll
boy with the
discard.
turn.
Yeah,
Steel City Showdown.
but he
Pass and
has
bury,
to.
so I
Oh,
can shuffle in.
Yeah.
the gizmo.
well,
Nah, he's gonna
never
pass
mind.
Barry. He's gonna go after Slade on this one. He's trying to
Yeah.
pin the champion.
Actually, no. Set up the
Yeah.
sledgehammer.
I think I should play it.
So pass and Barry to set up the sledgehammer. Thank you, projection truck, for yawning in my ear.
Detroit.
7.
Ability.
10. Look at that.
All right,
What
so
is
Y'all
that?
Brock
both,
with the
y'all both
turn.
drew rolled agility, correct?
Yes, we did.
I get to draw 2 cards.
ooh.
Yep.
I'll discard.
Slade, did you roll?
apply
What did you roll?
pressure.
I rolled a 7 sub.
Sub. Okay.
All right,
All right.
discarding apply pressure, and then Slade. How many cards you got in hand?
I got cut 2 now.
Alrighty, I'll wait.
I got 11. I will get rid of making an impact. Now I got 10.
Okay.
Making
Uh,
an impact.
Trio Woe follow up sub.
Taking a dead faction.
Tria, whoa.
Whoa. I mean, it does
Whoa.
nothing. It does,
But it does
but-
get a follow up and play.
his
That's good.
14's in play and his
Okay.
5 isn't a stop, so you know it's going to be
Yeah.
good. It does turn on his
7.
20.
6. Tech.
Well, he already had his
Both your
20
finishes are in
available
discard pile,
because of
Slade.
number 6.
Uh,
The sub and the.
Now it's
strike.
even more.
2 of them are strike.
Or if he's running the skill at
Yeah,
20 and
tag.
Oh, the C2
Tag.
stop
You're-
1
you're gonna
skill
tag against me?
bump?
yeah,
Skill
maybe.
increase?
Okay.
We haven't
Unless Slade
seen
doesn't
a
want
skill
to.
card
No, I'll
yet.
tag.
Oh, Slade and Brocky Boy
Tag
tag.
it up.
I'll get rid of. Hold it right there.
2
I rolled a
tags.
6. You rolled a.
Yeah, I'll go. That would have been cool if that would work like that. I'll pass in Barry. Whirlwind Whip. Michigan play style, baby.
I will. I say I gotta discard another card.
Gonna pass Barry him to death like Ricky Riot.
Riz. That one was
Oh,
for
the
you,
brain.
Simon. I know how much you watch Skippity Toilet in your free time. Like an iPad kid.
I
Yeah,
get rid
shut
of
up.
Marvelous Recruits.
Shut up.
And then I will go with Finish Grapple on.
Oh,
Ref
finish
Dave.
grapple
On Ref
on
Yep.
Ref Dave. Second
I am
grapple.
going. You have a grapple and play against me? Yes.
Yes, I do.
All right, we're gonna boulder smash that. We discard the bottom one, and then we could add them to hand. Mine is broken in half. My 26.
Apron
What's
Bomb.
yours?
Number 5.
What is that?
Apron
what
Bomb can't be stopped. Number 5.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll add them to hand. We'll add them to hand.
All right.
Ooh.
10 cards.
It's been a great match so far, I guess.
Detroit!
Did it?
Detroit.
Technique 6.
Don't do it.
6 as well.
Don't
You
do
want
it.
to tag up,
Don't
Dave?
do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, we're tagging.
Ooh.
Tag up.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, Simon. Hey. Other
Wrong way.
way. Hey.
And then we both got 6. So who goes first?
I keep forgetting I'm
Detroit.
mirrored on this.
Roll the
Yeah.
roll the Z goes
Roll
first.
off.
I'll get rid of Stack.
Tech 6.
Tech.
Roll off again.
Strike 10.
Grapple 5.
All right, so Ref Dave with
I'm
the
gonna-
turn, and
yeah, I'm
he
gonna
has to
get
play
rid
on
of
Brock.
this crossbow, and then
Is that a crossbow that he discarded?
Ooh.
Brock on you. I'm gonna play Armored Aggression, lead sub.
Ooh.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? That's good.
It's the worst that can happen. I'm gonna show you Swinging Neckbreaker and Sledgehammer the quad, and I'm gonna pull my finish sub back. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Slade.
Okay. On Brock, Young Dumb, and Broke. Lead
Young
sub.
Dumb, Young Dumb, and Broke. Lead
We'll
subby.
alien boot drop that one.
Oh, he's running it
And then we'll both draw a
too.
card.
Okay.
Disgusting.
Power
Grapple
5.
Grapple 10.
Grapple 5.
Big
All right,
5.
Dave with the turn. Listen, this crowd is thoroughly behind Ref Dave. They are chanting
Grab
his
Swinging
name.
Neckbreaker, and we're gonna try the finish sub on you, Slade. Sell
Finish
Peach Crab.
subby.
One other.
Other subs in play.
Got the half crab.
Drive into the planet. Follow up. Stop. C1 stop one.
Yep.
Each player discards the
Bottom
bottom card of
card.
the dock. You may
Wrong-
add
wrong
it to your
pile.
hands. Let's try it.
Mine's finish strike. Moonlight drop.
What is yours?
Moonsault leg drop. My finish strike.
I got Herculean throw.
So
Discard both those.
Slade, you put the 20 on the wrong pile.
What now? Oh,
that's on.
My
It's
move.
supposed to be
That's
on
my
Georgia
move.
now.
I see it. Sorry. Thank you very much.
No worries.
So we got a ref. I can actually see.
Detroit! Dave.
Also strike 10.
Dave.
Grapple
Dave,
5.
what are we doing here?
Oh,
What are we doing here, dude?
Roll
as
10.
soon as Brock's like, sweet, I can hit this finish. Ref Dave's like, nah, bro, we bumping.
Discard. Take
Slade's outside the ring chilling. He's like, nah, you guys fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Juliet.
sub 9. We'll just deck out. Is that fine?
Yeah,
Fine.
why
Sound
not?
good to you?
Why not?
Oh, discard catch twist kick.
They are
Ooh.
thoroughly saying Detroit sucks.
No,
I mean,
that's
yeah.
just Flame Fighter.
Take your time,
I-
Ref Dave. We're in
I
no
mean,
rush.
it's
not
a
like
one-man
we got some time
chant.
for this.
What? You won. I already rolled 8. It's you.
Oh, you rolled an 8? Oh, shit.
Yeah. So keep
We're
talking
no
about
rush.
it.
Yeah, we're in no
on
rush.
with
No
it.
rush. We're in no rush.
It's-
No rush.
Yeah.
He's fine.
We are kind of in a rush. We got
I'll
What
go
grade
spiders
of
to get to,
elementary
bro.
school did you stop going to school?
I think it was like preschool or something.
Oh, that
It
makes
was like-
sense.
It was like the Flint water. I mean, you're pretty. You know that. I mean, you've drank so much of that water. Lead strike
Oh, my-
kickback, Dave.
Deep strike kickback. It's good, sir.
Yeah, it does nothing.
That's a
God.
topical, I must say.
Topical. Very
God
topical.
damn.
Five.
9.
Ooh.
Oh, 7?
Thank
You
you.
got grapple 5.
All right.
I'm-
Rock with the turn.
Right, okay. Slade, how about this snap super kick, finish strike, no other strikes?
It's strikey.
Is that your generic one or is that?
Oh,
Yeah, number
no.
28, finish
Oh,
strike.
no.
It's a generic one.
Is this a generic
It's a
28?
generic.
Yeah, it's a generic 28.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Are there other strikes in play?
Nope.
I can't stop that.
Oh no!
Oh, I was hoping
All
for the
right.
umbrella
It's
hold.
a finish strike. No other strikes. Yeah, it's good.
But
Oh.
he has a strike in play against you.
Predator 2.
Okay.
Big strike 6, 10,
That's a
12.
12. Oh,
Well,
God.
they have to team up.
Ready, Dave?
Yeah, I'm ready, sir.
All right.
Agility.
Agility.
Grapple.
One.
Grapple.
Apple.
Power. It almost was.
Two.
Ooh.
Strike.
Boy. Strike.
Right.
Oh, I missed the table. Drama, baby. Drama.
Oh!
It's over.
Three.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner and new LFF Triad champion, Brock Smith. Detroit.
Detroit!
Fantastic match, boys. That was awesome.
Good job, Brock.
Broad
Thank
umbrella
you.
hole.
Yeah, he was teasing the crowd. He was.
I
teasing
was
the crowd.
getting. We were so hyped. We thought
Yeah.
we were
Never
gonna
a
get an
doubt. There
umbrella
was
hold.
smooth
I was-
calmness in my voice. He doesn't have it. He doesn't own it. Have you seen Slade Holiday? Do you think he can afford a card like Umbrella Hold? No, he can't. Do you think Ref Dave can afford a card like an Umbrella Hold? No, he can't. Never a doubt. I said it from the beginning. New Triad champion and another L for Ref Dave. 0 for 2.
Rough C rolling there, Ref Dave, I must say. Strong words from your new Triad champion.
It was
Oh,
all
there it
pretty
is.
hot.
You're
There it is.
familiar
He
with
owns
that card, right, Ref Dave? The hardcore?
I'm very familiar
Oh.
with it. So.
Yeah, that's what I
All
thought.
right, all right, but folks, just want to say real quick, Slade Holiday, a fantastic reign. No matter what, you are part of a very, very elite group that have defended the
Thank
Triad
you.
title at least once. All right, that is it's rough to do, man.
It is. It's both of them just coming after me the whole entire match. I don't think they ever played another card on either one of them unless they
Well-
had to.
Well, listen, man, you
true.
got to come
Not
at the
true.
king, bro. You got to, to be the man, you got to beat the man. That's the
Right.
thing.
And also, Slave is the fastest triad.
Yes, I
Win.
am.
Yep, you
Yeah,
hold
he
directly
is.
for the fastest
No one can
triad.
take that away from you. Ain't that right, Matt Nealon? All right. All right.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Simon, for commentating.
You're welcome, dude. But folks, we have spiders to get to. We got
Spooders.
historic announcements.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen, but we'll find out soon. So stick around. Ladies and gentlemen of the LFF, welcome back to Sunday Night Fights. And I have to say, we are blessed and we are honored by the presence of GM Calais here to bring us the latest Super Show Spider update. GM Calais, the floor is yours.
Yes. I am lucky to be here. It only seems like I get to talk to you folks once a quarter, which is a total tragedy for all of you because of how much you miss me. Say it. I want to hear all you in the chat say it.
We do miss you.
I miss
We
you.
miss
Actually,
you.
now
I
I
miss
looked at who's in the chat, and I don't want to hear from anybody in there. So let's just move right along.
Chuck's
Thank
that
you,
bad?
Simon. Thank you, commentary team. Congratulations to the once in a generation, the GOAT Brock Smith, on his win this evening. Good match that we got to watch. Of course, we had Ref Dave out there put on a good show. We had potential Hall of Famer one day, Anthony Perry, who's just put a monster career in the LFF together as well out there. And
He wasn't in the match.
He wasn't in the match.
Wait,
There was Slade Holiday, the
oh,
franchise.
Slade Holiday, I apologize. I was actually just going over Faction Wars results and stuff and compiling a million stats in my mind. I apologize. But I'd like to introduce the newest Spider here, who's also the LFF World Champion, Candyman Dan. Welcome in.
How's it going, everyone?
Happy to see you. Already having the belt on stream is far better than some of the champions we've seen in the past. And I'm not talking about Yasmin, I'm talking about others. How's it feel to be champ, Dan?
It feels good, and I figured I'd make sure it was on here tonight.
That's right. Well, we look forward to hearing some analysis from you, of course. Also joining me from the Spider team is the TVA commissioner, who unfortunately, I'm a man about it, and I will report that he's in the finals of Faction Wars, went over on the higher class in a dominating performance. We have a couple of folks from the Constellation here.
That's right.
Congratulations to you, sir.
Thanks.
And the Underworld Champion. Where's that belt? Come on, man.
Then the Underworld, we have a lot of gold here.
I was about to say the belt, which has been defended on stream many times, is in another room.
And it'll be defended next week. Spoiler alert.
Next week.
Yeah. TVA commissioner, first trip to the Faction Wars finals. No, you went last year. Year.
Sure did.
No? No, yeah, you lost.
Steve's great. Yeah.
As I
Yeah.
said,
Top
it
four
takes
last
it takes a super team to stop the Constellation, folks.
It's in their own mind they are one. I mean, there's a lot of we say we're top heavy with teams, but right now we have the Crime Wave and the Line. The Line went to the finals against the higher class some years back. This would not be their first trip there, but the Crime Wave will be their first trip there. They went to Final Four last year as well, if I'm not mistaken. So 2 years ago. So they're knocking on the door. Steve took over as captain, and they've been good. It comes down to one match, right? Oh God, why are we listening to us boring people? We could be watching the Ultimate Showdown.
It was a suggestion.
Well, I apologize for taking up your time on that. I'm also going to introduce our, for lack of a better man, the chairman here, which is Mr. Bob Dunn, who has put together the deck as usual, which we're going to go through tonight. Mr. Dunn.
Mr. Calais, always good to see you. It's a sad time when you're not around, but look forward to, as usual, getting business done here tonight.
Yep, I look forward to it too. The Spiders, as always, put in a ton of work this quarter. We're going to go through the quarterly updates, the movements from 96 up and down. That's the point of this show. But also introducing here tonight, we have a special guest. She is not a Spider, but she is the general manager of the tag team division, Candy Man.
Hello, thank you for having me with you guys tonight. I appreciate it.
And let's dive into it. What the heck is this, and what are we talking about here?
That is a serious color background there.
This
Wow.
is what
I like the pink. You can see it reflected.
I like
in
the
my
pink
face.
too.
I like the pink too. Thank you, Bob, for
But what does it
making
mean? Let's talk. Come on.
All right, so let's just jump right into this. I have a group of, I call them my piranhas. They help me with tag data.
Piranha.
They are great people that I can get feedback from, bounce ideas off. And after speaking with my piranhas, I decided that it would be great to have tag team equity rules. It's just basically some rules moving forward regarding T50. When you're designing a competitor and you really love tag, you can refer to these rules to avoid getting on the T50 list. I know there's also a lot of confusion when new competitors come out. My DMs blow up and everyone is asking, is this going to be T50'd? Is this going to be T50'd? Well, this will let us all know right away whether it's going to be T50'd or not. The current T50 list is still in effect, so all of the competitors that are on there are remaining on there. This is more so for competitors that are coming out and everything moving forward. So hopefully it makes tag a little bit more clear for everybody. And I don't know. I think it's a good idea.
So, Angela, we've got about 6 or 7 competitors that have been released that meet some of these criteria. You plan to add those to the T50 list?
Yes. So as the competitors come out, I'm hoping, Bob, I can work with you on knowing what they are, what they do, and I can get them over to the PC to add to the list.
This is fascinating. So these are for more or less the criteria or the guidelines that are used to determine the T50 list, if I have that correct.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. I find this interesting. I think it's important to kind of see how the sausage is made, unless people don't know. I would also, like to comment both from my office and on behalf of the boss that these are the guidelines today. They are subject to change. A competitor could go on that doesn't meet any of these criteria for a totally different reason. It could, we just don't know yet if something new would come out. But I'd say this covers 95% of the field, if not all of it today, and into the future, it'll probably cover just about everything. So they're good guidelines.
Yeah.
Piranhas. Who's a
Yeah,
piranha?
just trying to keep everything uniform. Who are the piranhas?
You don't have to tell me. Maybe give me one piranha.
One piranha. You got a couple in this chat right now, actually, on the screen.
A bunch of sickos, based on what I
A
saw in
bunch of
Discord.
sickos, yeah. It's basically people who love tag and play it often. I respect their opinions. They're the ones in and out playing, so it's I can't have a piranha chat for tag without Chris Pate and Sean Loeb in it. So
Are they
those are two
piranhas?
names. They are piranhas, yes.
The waters are infected.
So yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna hop off, but thank you guys for having me. If anyone has any questions or concerns, you can definitely reach out. And it takes a village to be a GM. So thank you everybody for helping me and providing me with data and feedback.
Excellent. Great work as
Love you
always.
guys. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, other
Here we
business.
go. Bob, you're up. Let's do it.
Other business. Calling to order the March Spider meeting. We have, first of all, let's talk about divisions. There was a lot of uproar for no reason, I think, during this quarter. The concept of Super Show has always been that when a competitor is released, they should be playable. And that is our feeling as well. The only reason that we had not been releasing more frequent updates previously is because there's a logistical problem where we only have these official meetings every 3 months. And it was too much work to keep up with like we weren't aware necessarily when everything was releasing. So we've corrected several of those problems. The boss is now in Spider chat, which means we should be getting directly informed when things go to print so that we know when to put them in divisions. Divisioning should happen as soon as we're aware that a character has been printed, period. And Danny Thunder has taken over the role, and we're putting the responsibility in his hands as the Undersecretary of Division Assignment. So
He's done it really well.
He's done a great job, and I'm going to keep leaning on him to do more of that. So I trust that the Grump will work with whoever he needs to ensure the divisions are set correctly. But you should expect that if you find a competitor in print, it should be on the master list. The master list, which I have linked to here, and I will provide the links in the discussion group after this meeting. The master list is now a spreadsheet. It's a Google spreadsheet, but it's just like Excel, okay, that anyone can access. And the master list should be eternally up to date. It's one document. We will not release new versions of it every month. It's one document. As soon as we learn that a competitor has been printed, they should be added to the master list. That means you should not use lists anywhere else that are not labeled master list because they may be out of date. And if they're out of date, we can't guarantee that they're going to have all of the division assignments on them. But the master list should have it. If you find a competitor that's been printed that is not on the master list, or a version of a competitor that has been printed that is not on the master list, tell us immediately. Please.
Got it. Love it. Very well said. And if you really want to just boil it down to something very important, a competitor always has a division. There's no such thing as a competitor that does not have a division. If that's the case, it's called an oversight. So there's no such thing. Number two, on a quarterly basis, the point of this program is not to do anything else but to move competitors from the top 96 up or down, going in or coming out, or moving from world to underworld. That's the point of this show. Could something else be talked about, like the tag team guidelines or some updates? Sure. We don't get on this show to put competitors into an unranked division. That happens immediately. Well said, Bob, and that clears up a lot of potential confusion. By the way, we didn't want to have this show right before the Columbus CAC because that would have changed the top 96 immediately before you're going to play in a major event. So we're going to try to schedule these where if you look out a couple weeks, we don't have anything that major that's coming up, so you could have time to digest some of the changes. So that's my addition.
Speaking of changes, sorry, who was going to talk?
I was going to say, we have never had anything to do with division assignments. It had previously been the boss. And now that there's just more and more characters being released and thrown into grand packs and payoff packs, everything, now Danny Thunder is actually going to be doing it on release. So anything that gets released will be in a division immediately. Like there is no such thing as undivisioned whatsoever.
Yep. So let's talk about what is coming up. We're expecting by the June update that the Super Lucha division will be in existence. Everything indicates that Super Lucha will be printed and delivered sometime around the Origins timeframe. Is that still in the case, Mr. Claes?
Yeah, obviously with the ever-changing supply chain world that we live in, we're not 100% sure of the delivery date as of now, but that's the target, and the target, plus or minus a little bit of time remains on track.
And just to be clear, that competitors who are printed for Super Lucha will be defaulting to the Super Lucha division, but they could move into Underworld and World after that, depending on their performance.
I agree.
And the last thing to update before we talk about the actual changes is we have voted on and approved some revisions to the points system. This became a necessity because, for two reasons, a couple of things have happened recently. One is that we wanted to make sure that there was a real climb to get to Worlds. So the sort of standard path is that you promote to Underworld and then promote to Worlds. Normally it would take 2 quarters. But there have been occasions where there have been enough points earned, the world champion thanks you, to go directly from a lower division to the Worlds division. The revision is that that's going to be harder now. So it is going to be harder to go directly from a lower division straight to Worlds by bypassing Underworld. You should fully expect that it will take more points total to achieve that goal. It'll be easier to get a character from Underworld to Worlds overall. Any other comments before we start talking about actual changes?
Nothing for me. It makes sense.
No.
Here we go.
If you want to ask a question in the chat, please do so. We might answer it, we might not, but it's free to ask.
So here we go. Based on performance from the previous quarter, remember the quarter ended on March 2nd, as previously announced. That was the last reporting day. Only 2 competitors moving into Worlds. This has been pretty consistent now. So 2 competitors moving up makes sense. Loudmouth Leo moving up after we demoted him in the previous quarter to Underworld.
Shout out Simon Davner.
Simon Davner in the house.
I told you made a mistake.
Made it a point to prove everyone wrong. TVA commissioner still not happy about it, but here we are.
Hey, 8-player tournaments with no stips. Yeah, you a king, baby. If you show up at Capcom, get waxed.
Somehow nobody put Tornillo in their deck.
Yeah, it's not a clue how people don't know how to adapt. But I see it. We're in the Faction Wars finals, and you went out in the first round.
Okay. Damn.
So Loudmouth Leo making the move up from Underworld. The other promotion is a direct promotion. And just to be clear, it is a direct promotion under the more difficult points system, meaning that Queen of Cheer goes all the way from US to Worlds, bypassing Underworlds.
Whoa.
This is a combination of several major events. John P. winning PAX South Underworld with Adriana, beating me in the final. And then, of course, Cheetah going back-to-back at Captain Con, a first place and a second place. So 2 what we consider semi-majors, being that they're convention events, Captain Con win and a Captain Con second place, means that Queen of Cheer Adriana D is going directly into the Worlds division.
Wow. And that's under the harder points?
This is under the harder point system, yes.
This is
Yep.
analyzing the results here. So let's talk about the demotions before we talk about the promotions.
Yeah, the demotions were pretty easy to vote, actually. Slime Girl, after the unsuccessful world title shot from Chris Tapley, Slime Girl had previously been moved up due to her win in the Birdcage event that GM Clay stipulated was for a guaranteed world shot. So she was arbitrarily, well, not arbitrarily, she was artificially moved into Worlds for that time. Given that the shot has ended, she will be demoted to Underworld immediately. And AJ Styles was also demoted. Remember that we only demote competitors if they have received 0 points on the point system in the previous quarter. So while certain people like Carlos Lumbre may have played AJ Styles heavily in the past, he didn't play AJ very heavily this quarter, which means he has dropped from World to Underworld. And, he'll be eligible to be played in many of those Underworld and below events going forward.
Wow. AJ Styles, has he ever dropped outside of World?
Not so far.
No.
Nope, not so far.
And we're coming up with some time now and a little bit of a history to report. So that's fascinating. Let's talk here about the Loudmouth Leo promotion, which I think everybody had on their bingo card for this show. Simon Davner obviously dominated a lot of weekly events, and it just shows that there is a lot of emphasis placed on these online events that happen during the week. So was this the top point getter, or did the Queen of Cheer have more points?
Queen of Cheer had more points overall in this quarter.
Okay.
But because Loudmouth was already in Underworld, moving 2 worlds required fewer points overall.
That makes sense.
So Queen of Cheer was the highest point getter this quarter by a pretty significant margin. But Loudmouth had enough points to make the jump.
Got it. Okay. A Queen of Cheer. I mean, who earned more points here? Was it Polverino or was it the Cheetah? This is very relevant.
Cheetah earned more total points. With
Oh,
Queen of Cheer.
no.
Oh boy. God.
Very contested.
Oh, I
Very
love this.
contested.
I think there's certainly some controversy to that, as Polverino was not necessarily happy.
Sorry,
that
Bob.
Cheetah-
Where I'm from New York, there is no controversy in mathematical equations. Where I'm from, it sounds pretty cut and dry from where I'm sitting.
It's pretty straight ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you play, you win, you get the points, people. That's how this works.
Give me a second as I digest this. Chris Pagillo asked a question here about what places are earning points in these events.
Yeah, so there is a formula. We have specifically not disclosed that formula to everyone for reasons of privacy and because we don't want people necessarily gaming the system in some way. But I think it's suffice to say that the scale has clearly been defined now and voted on by the Spiders. So events with 8 or fewer players will have one particular scale of points. Events with between 8 and 16 players will have a different scale of points. Events with 16 to 30, I'm sorry, events with 8 to 32 will have one scale of points, and events with 32 and higher will have the highest scale of points. And there are also additional points to be awarded for competition in CACs, for competition in larger events, basically, right? So convention events will also have some bonus points assigned to them.
Okay.
But you need to be placing pretty highly in order to earn points. I'll put it that way. And how highly, it depends on how many players there are in the event total.
Well, everything we're sharing tonight is going to be the basis for the virtual Grand Gathering Memorial Day weekend, by way of the top 96, and especially Worlds and Underworld. So this is a big opportunity to start to get familiar with who's in the top 96 for those events. We're going to start getting into those events in the coming weeks, and I imagine there's going to be major point emphasis on those events, just given how big they are. So we're looking forward to that in this next quarter. So this is bad for me because I announced that Matt Nealon is going to have a World Championship shot, and Kenny Omega did not get promoted, which I am going to review, not necessarily protest, but review how that's possible. I'm not going to challenge your math here, but I'd say that that had to be worth something, that big win by Matt. Very, very frustrating to see because Matt Nealon will not be able to get a world title shot if the competitor that he earned it with is not in Worlds. That's my protocol, and now I am a little lost here.
Well, it certainly was enough to earn something, and that something was a promotion to the Underworld division.
Not good enough, Bob.
Well, I regret to inform you that the only points earned by Kenny Omega in the previous quarter were by Matt winning the PAX World Championship event. And those points, despite the size and the fact that it was a convention event, were not enough to jump directly. Again, we're talking unranked to world. So that is the harder jump to make, right? Making the unranked to underworld jump is easier, and making the underworld to world jump is easier. But if you're talking about a competitor that was previously global and you want to take them all the way to world, that required more points than you can earn in a single event, in any single event, to be clear. I've been tracking the Rust Belt results. I've been tracking all the online results. Believe me, I spend a lot of time entering results from everywhere that anyone will report to me. And I can confirm that Kenny Omega has made the jump to Underworld, but no further.
Well, let's go through the list, and I'll be in touch on what we're going to do here because now I have a lot of decisions to make.
Yes, you do. So let's talk about everybody else who made it to Underworld. Master Strategist, on the heels of some heavy play, of course, by Ricky Riot. Father Light, fairly difficult to find and difficult to defeat competitor, as we've learned this quarter, played by several of the people in this room and by, of course, Father Light himself. Bjorn the Norseman, earned through a number of serious major event placements.
What?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Rising Stars matters, Mr.
Yeah,
Clay.
finals of your Rising Stars.
What?
Chris Bay. Congratulations to Chris Bay. Glad to see he's feeling better. Hope that Mark Perry got a lot of signatures out there in Las Vegas today at the Chris Bay event. But he will be making the jump on the back of Colby Cram's heavy lift into the Underworld division. Wendigo, our second straight unranked to Underworld promotion from Ryan Pierce by winning the Sunshine SmackDown CAC here in Orlando. Brett the Metalhead, pushed up by John Von Masick, largely on the back of some event wins. So we've got some pushes from some players who we don't see around as much on playing
John Von
online.
Masick. Excellent.
We previously discussed the Kenny Omega promotion. No news there. King Kong Dundee promoted to Underworld. So
Bobby's out of hardcore.
Look, if there's anybody who should complain about Spider, it's definitely me. I have more created competitors in the Underworld and World divisions than any other person, period. But Kenny Omega promoted thanks to my second place against John Polverino at PAX Underworld, and thanks to Andrew Meckie, who's been playing him heavily in a series of scheduled events.
Olympics and Faction Wars.
Olympics and Faction Wars. And finally, Original Split on the back of HR's impressive win in the Rising Stars. So those are the promoted 9 for the previous quarter. That means that, of course, we need to clear out some spots. We have 9 promoted Underworld, 2 demoted from World to Underworld. So that means 11 names we would have needed to clear, but 1 person went from Underworld to World. So there are only 10 spots. We need to clear out 10 spots. Well, an interesting thing happened on the way to this month's vote. Again, we only demote those who have no points, right? So many people in the Underworld division had points this quarter. They were not options. But we then took votes among those who were. And there were 8 competitors who received at least 3 votes, meaning they had a plurality. And these 8 competitors are all now in. They will be returned. To be clear, the master list has not yet been updated. But after this meeting, they will be returned to their original divisions. Copycat. So Copycat is going to be returned, and she's going to be split as well. She'll be split up into 2 divisions because there are 2 different gimmicks for Copycat.
Eddie Fury and Danhausen.
Eddie Fury copycat and Danhausen copycat. Lama Senor, he had his underworld shot, his number one contendership, and failed to win that number one contendership match. He made a great effort playing that in person, but he will be demoted out of the underworld division. Next Supreme, who I thought is a really good competitor, but just isn't getting any play, will be demoted out of underworld. Johnny Correa leaving the Underworld division. You can thank Grump for this one because Grump didn't play any of his matches in the Cookies Fortune event, so there were no points for Johnny Correa, which led to him dropping out of Underworld.
You heard it here first, folks. Johnny Correa stinks.
Quadruple H, after making the jump up a few quarters ago, has been returned. He'll be returned, of course, to the old school division. Old school, I feel like, needs some more personnel in that division, so hopefully we'll get another old school release soon. EC3 will definitely be split and returned to the global division, so all forms of EC3 will be out of Underworld. Johnny Gargano was previously moved up to Underworld was previously moved up to World and has been demoted over the last 2 quarters. So after failing to win the World title, he was demoted directly to Underworld. This quarter, no points for Johnny Gargano. He's demoted back to the global division. And the last agreement was Merlin von Berlin, again, previously promoted. The competitor, the person who had that promotion number one contender shot, never played his match. So that competitor is now returned and will be split. I'm sorry, that's one gimmick. So it'll be a single division for Merlin von Berlin on the drop. But that's only 8 names. And what happened next is that we didn't have a plurality of votes for any other person to be dropped. What we had is a tie among 5 other possible competitors, and therefore we shall let fate decide. So, Mr. Schmidt, do you have the wheel?
Let me give me a second here. This is ridiculous. We couldn't come to an agreement on the last 2 with 6 people. I understand that, but so this is a total hung jury. This is like we're just gonna call it and do it like. In all honesty, I should be breaking the tie, but I don't feel like I really want that responsibility, and I am looking for a 7 spider, so we don't have this type of situation and this and that. But unbelievable, this has to happen. Very disappointing, but I know how hard you guys work. But we're really leaving it up to a wheel tonight.
Yeah.
Well, when there are no points on that competitor, then you are leaving it to fate.
You know, the
yes.
other wait, hold
It's
on.
a dice game.
Wait, give me a second again. Pulverino, Brian Lee, Grump are not here. I don't even want to hear from them. Do we have any? Can you 3 agree on somebody here?
I said Najamai.
Okay.
I said Papa Wheelie.
Okay, we need 2. So come on.
You're muted, Dan.
I said Colt Cabana.
Oh my God!
I mean, look,
This is how it happens.
This is how it goes. I don't know what to tell you. All right, spin the wheel.
All right, wheel is up.
Oh
go.
my God!
All right, here we
There
go.
we go.
First name up to go is Chicago's own original Colt Cabana.
All Colt Cabanas will be returned to the global division immediately.
Ooh.
Big mistake. He's great.
He is great. Go play him.
Former world champ.
Yeah.
We need one
That's a
more.
big match,
Faction World
Pete.
Champion too.
Papa Wheelie.
Papa Wheelie
I can get
goes
behind
back.
that one.
Papa Wheelie shall be returned. He will be split because there are separate gimmicks, so watch for both Papa Wheelies to be returned. Again, the master list will not be updated until after tonight's meeting. So if you check the master list spreadsheet, do not expect it to be updated until we have posted in the discussion group. So those are our Underworld demotions. And the next thing to talk about is rewards. We've always said that when you move a competitor up into the Underworld division, there are rewards that follow. We've talked about this before. I'm not going to rehash it. These are number one contendership matches for the people who moved a competitor up. Now, the first thing is I have a carryover I did make a special case for this carryover because it's a player who does not play online very much. So we're gonna let 12 Gap Matt still have his number one contendership match in the next quarter. He will have to face Matt Nealon as Kenny Omega. This is assuming that Kenny Omega is not in the World's division by the time this match takes place. So this match is scheduled to happen at Origins. But a lot of things could happen between
Matt
now
Nealon
and
will be world champion by Origins. It won't matter.
no, you got to get him into
no.
Worlds first, GM.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I will get him into Worlds.
All right.
Mhm.
We can talk about that, how you plan to do that. Next, Andrew Meckie as King Kong Dundee. Of course, I earned as many points as Andrew did in total, but I cannot get an Underworld shot as the GM of the division. So we will honor Andrew Meckie as the shot for King Kong Dundee. He will have to face John Von Masick as Brett the Metalhead in an online match.
It's literally
That's the
happening right
match
now.
Yeah.
Yep.
My God.
Hey, good luck on the
Rivalry of the
scheduling.
year, baby.
Ricky Riot as Master Strategist. Congratulations for moving that competitor up. He played him a lot early in the quarter and then dialed it back and played other competitors late. He would have to face Ryan Pierce, former faction mate, as Wendigo, but Ryan has forwarded his title shot because he does not own Wendigo.
It was
He
and
played
played
he
Trey's
played
deck.
and won a CAC with a deck that was built by Trey Cantrell, and he has asked for Trey Cantrell to get that shot. This is the last time I will forward a title shot in this banner. If you don't own the competitor that you moved up with, your title shot will be forfeit in future quarters, just to make that very clear. Father Light. I understand that there were several Father Light players. When I evaluated all of the points that have come in, I determined that Father Light, who has not had an Underworld shot ever in my knowledge, and maybe hasn't had a title shot in a very long time ever, should get a chance to be the one to play his competitor. So Father Light will get an opportunity against Bjorn the Norseman for the Underworld Championship shot.
Must
We-
stream. Must
Where is that
stream.
gonna happen?
Must
yes,
stream.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, are we streaming that?
Oh,
We have to.
I will make sure.
all
I
of these
stream it.
matches must be streamed in order for them to count. Yes.
Or
I will
be at a
make sure
show.
that's streamed.
Or be live and put on the discussion group. Yes. And finally, Colby Cram moving up Chris Bay, having himself quite a year, as you know, member of the higher class. He is going to have to face the rising star of the year, HR, as Split, which if I can't see this match, I'm going to be very disappointed.
No problem.
So, as the streamer for all these matches, I will make sure that we get all these matches on Sunday Night Fights in the next month and a half or so.
Yeah, they
I
must
need
be
some time
done.
for Nealon. Hold on.
Except for
Do him
Nealon
up.
Except for Nealon and
Grab.
and
Yes,
and
that's
Grab,
fine.
because they will
The
not be
other
done
four,
online.
these are big headline matches that
Yeah.
I want on stream as well too. So
They must be done by June 1st in order for them to count.
okay.
And so, obviously the competitors should work with Mr. Schmidt to get scheduled, and let's make sure we get that done. So congratulations to everybody moving up in the Underworld. Good luck. We have a fairly large line behind our Underworld champion, TVA Commissioner Drew
They're all
Madsen
going
right
to lose
now.
to me. Congratulations. They're all going to lose to me.
I have made it very clear to Mr. Madsen that if he should defeat Harvey Luster next Sunday, Harvey Luster playing Scott Prime, getting his Underworld title shot. If he should defeat Harvey Luster next Sunday, Mr. Madsen will be facing at least 2 opponents in one weekend before the virtual grand gathering. So it's going to get harder from here, Drew. It's not getting easier. You have done a great job defending the title, but of course with Mimic, eventually you're going to have to pay the price and face some
Deck of the
really
year,
difficult
baby. We got
challenges.
Deck of the year, baby.
How many defenses we got?
4 so far.
Oh my god. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who are you most
Yeah.
afraid of on the screen that you see right now?
Trey. Absolutely. Bar none, Trey. Because
And that Wendigo is super good right now.
Faction mate, and now granted, and we know how each other build.
But Trey's going to have a rough task to get past Ricky Riot. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be a big match.
Ricky Riot's my Super Show grandfather. He's losing his mind and asking me what cards do. So That'll be fun to play against.
His mind's long gone, man.
Yeah, too much soup.
So I guess the last thing to say is that the next update will be in June 2025, we're intending it to be early in June, prior to Origins and Southern Fried. So the current expectation is that the quarterly points period will end on June 1.
So right
And that-
after the virtual grand gathering.
Right after virtual grand gathering, that's right. And then the reporting will be as soon as reasonably possible after that.
Yeah, I mean that's important just to make sure that people have enough prep time for these two big shows with the new 96 list. But excellent as always. I think most of the movements, are those I agree with. I do think we need a better way of breaking ties, but we're gonna get there.
It does. It's actually hilarious that the wheel chose ones that didn't mess up the Underworld qualifying matches.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. So
with Ricochet and.
Did you have a plan, Bob?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But nobody ever has to know it now.
Ban world to 64, Flamfight. I don't know about that. I think 32 is good. It's an exclusive club,
I think 96 a fun number.
Yeah, we're down to the last 8 in the Cookie's Fortune, and that's essentially the semifinals for both individual tournaments. So a lot of really, really impressive work by the 8 players there, and those points. Bob, have you counted any points from the earlier rounds from that tournament?
No, because
Okay, so there's a lot,
the top 8 happened after the points period for this quarter ended.
So needless to say, I mean, we're going to have an extremely busy second quarter by way of reporting just from that tournament alone with ranked competitors. You're not going to see many zeros on there. You're going to see a lot more play. So it's going to really come down to play. And as I was discussing earlier before the show with this group, the virtual grand gathering in the works, all GMs will be contacted this week. We're going to talk about the plans for that big show Memorial Day weekend and what we expect for title defenses and, of course, tournaments as well. So we look forward to that. Questions, concerns, comments, feedback? Mm-hmm.
She wasn't voted down. The vote to vote for demotion was contentious, but there was a majority, and the majority was AJ Styles. That was unanimous for Slime Girl, just to be clear.
Yeah,
the unanimous drop was Slime Girl, but AJ Styles, the vote was a majority to demote AJ Styles. There have been many discussions. It was discussed for about a day and a half, but ultimately, yeah. I wish motions again.
AJ Styles is a harder to get competitor, and unless your name is GM Calais, and then there are so many competitors that can get +1 on a turn roll statically and like have similar or better gimmicks now. And granted, the Styles Clash is one of the best finishes ever printed. The other two do not match up to that, whereas competitors can have 3 bomb finishes.
Mm-hmm.
With good enough gimmicks to make them similar to AJ Styles in Underworld.
Simon, do you think that you should get some kind of look to see if you deserve to challenge for the LFF World Championship shot with Loudmouth Leo Larynx?
I do.
Excellent. That's all I needed to hear. Does anybody here think Cheetah deserves a similar? Can you imagine Simon versus Cheetah? Have we seen this match before? I can't recall.
Certainly not with these competitors.
I mean, we played against each other many times. I don't know the last time we were on stream. We've played each other many times in weeklies and in person play.
Do you think John Polverino will protest the Cheetah and say that he deserves it? Oh, that was a quick yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He already
protested.
Wait, he already protested in Spider, to be clear.
Yeah.
He was trying to get things changed, but look, the numbers are the numbers, folks. And the numbers don't lie. And Big Papa Pump says this means that it's sacrifice. You've got a 33rd chance to go down.
John Polverino getting screwed.
I am inclined to look at this booking of Cheetah versus Simon, but I have to consider Matt Nealon. I was dead bent on getting that beautiful looking man the shot, but I can't right now on this program, so I will not make the announcement until I consult offline, of course, with James Booker of council.
I think Ian I mean, again, like Bob said, the numbers don't lie. Ian has been on an absolute tear with Adriana D. I think he deserves to be looked at as well.
I think Ian definitely deserves it. And while it wasn't this quarter, Ian's also won a CAC with that competitor this year.
That's relevant. That
Yeah,
is
he
relevant.
did.
It was last year.
And that
It's
was when
relevant
she,
that it happened.
that was
It
when
didn't
she was
contribute
released, right?
to
Yeah.
Worlds, but if we're looking at who deserves the shot with that competitor,
Yeah,
like,
Ian definitely would be the first person I think of on Adriana D right now. Sorry, Pete.
Respectfully, Pulverino, your daughter was taken by Ian Chambers.
To be fair, Ian has
Hope
also
it's-
basically run her ragged, but that's a whole different discussion.
Boy.
Oh, poor choice of
Somebody
words.
else, Cheetah, get off that kick. Yeah, that's where you just ended. That was it. That was the
That was
mic
it.
drop. Live
I
promos
called
by the
AJ.
Brain, only the best.
Yeah.
No, how could we end on a better note than that?
All right, folks. Thank you again to GM Calais for honoring us with his presence. Thank you to the Spiders for showing up and taking us through all of the demotions, promotions, all of the news. But, folks, we will be right back with the post show. Stick around. Are we off? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sunday Night Prize Fights, and welcome to the post show. And we are joined by two spiders. That's right, they're sticking around. We have a lot to go over, but first and foremost, congratulations to Brock Smith on winning the LFF Triad Champion. He is now three belt Brock. Now, since you are the Midwest Coast Tag Team Champion.
That's right. I forgot about that. I have 2 Midwest Coast tag belts now. One of them is lost and the other one is on the ground. So I'm feeling great and I have my Triad belt. But, enough about me. Let's just get right into this Triad match that I was in.
Yeah, no. Well, tell us about it, man. You were in it.
It was great. Me and Dave had about 4 to 5 hours of contacting each other. How are we going to beat Slade and how are we not going to play cards on each other and absolutely screw Slade out of the championship. And it was great. It was phenomenal. We exchanged decks all the time. Oh, look at this guy.
Oh, look at this guy.
Oh boy.
Look at this
special guest.
Look at this handsome
All the
devil
cuts
show
are wrong now.
Yeah, let's just ruin everything.
You're welcome. I told you I was on my way.
He
Just
showed up.
in
He showed up
time.
after Calais because his hands.
I know. He showed up after Calais.
I guess that means we got to do his official intro. Welcome your CCC winning.
Yes, welcome
Rambo
your
Apocalypse.
CCC winner,
Good.
Rambo Apocalypse. What is up, buddy? How are you? How was your night? Been partying a lot?
Absolutely fantastic. Tried to get here as quick as I could. Had some things I had to do. Heard John Calais was in the house. If I'd have known John Calais was going to be here tonight, I absolutely would have made the accommodations to be here tonight. But, much like the theme around here, nobody knows what's going on until the last minute anyways. So, here I am. Wonderful things. Thank you so much for the victory. But, where were we?
Brock was taking us through his Triad title win. Brock, continue, please.
It was great. That's about it. We just colluded. That was it. One of us.
Slade had no chance. But okay,
truly...
hold on. But here's my question.
Skibbity.
Because you could have been in a lot of trouble.
Absolutely.
Are you telling me you colluded and you tricked him into not running the 13 steel chain spin because you ran that lead finish grapple? And Dave or Slade, either one of them could have pulled that steel chain spin on you to try to get that win.
So we had 2 conversations, me and Dave, we're great guys deep down. So we didn't want to absolutely screw
50-50.
Slade over and be like, I'm going to play my unstoppable on you so you could stop it and win the game, Dave. We wanted, a little bit of integrity unless Slade was, absolutely rolling us. And then we had to pull out the I'm not stopping your finishers. But besides that, other than that, we kept it clean. I showed him all the finishers he was going to run. I showed him he could have used umbrella hold, but he didn't.
Disgusting. Underhanded, and I love it. Once again, congratulations to Brock Smith on being your new LFF Triad champion. Shout out to the big picture.
Bringing gold back, baby.
But in saying that, what a great run by Slade Holiday. A lot of people were complaining about his run. I don't care. That man is part of an elite group of men who have defended the Triad title. All right, so great run by him. We look forward to more Brock Smith Triad matches. I'm sure it's going to be very entertaining here in the
Of course, my father was the professor, and just like the professor, we're very big into super show politics and colluding and making sure things go our way as the former Hall of Famer. So it's going to be a great Triad run from myself.
Fantastic. And like I mentioned before, we are joined by 2 spiders. Project Spider. They went over the promotions, the demotions. Bob Dunn, can you just quickly tell us about who moved up into the world and who moved out of the world? Just for anybody joining in.
Our world movers were Loudmouth Leo and Queen of Cheer Adriana D. World demotions were AJ Styles and Slime Girl. And there's too many to name in Underworld, but the short story is congratulations to a bunch of you. Look, we're watching. We're tracking all the points.
Thank you again for coming on and explaining all of that to us. The point system is can be confusing for some of our players, and thank you both for coming on and telling us how it works. But folks, if you missed all of that, this will be on the SRG YouTube channel. You can go back and watch it to get all of the news of the demotions, promotions, everything moving up from moving down from Underworld, moving up to Underworld, United States Intergalactic, all of that. Production truck, we got anything to look forward to this week? Awesome.
All right, so I'll announce it right now. They can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. This Monday night is your first official start of the ranking season on the official Super Show challenge. Monday Night Fights will be open, meaning bring the fun, bring the pain. With the new Spider list coming out, should be after this the show, right there, Bob?
Yes, the master list will be updated tonight.
Yep. Bring what you can, have some fun. 30-minute time limit on the rounds. No stips. I may start throwing in stips in there since, Simon Davner got an easy walk-in with Loudmouth into the World Division. But I digress. Anyway.
Wasn't me this time, Simon. I'm
Right.
just saying.
You guys really know how to rain on a guy's parade, all right?
I mean,
gotta
if y'all
tell.
really want to, I took him to the 6-stop tag finals, so
That
We
is
have
true.
a controversy on our hands.
Controversy.
And don't
I
even
tell
get
ya.
me started about Bjorn the Norseman as the 420 champion right now, baby. I'm also that.
You're
so,
King Bjorn. You're King Bjorn there.
You're King Bjorn.
Oh,
King Bjorn.
I hate to interrupt your haze, but
it's
in that you're King
But still,
Bjorn.
I was
where's
about to
King
say,
Bjorn in
one
the
out of two's
rankings?
not bad.
Tell us
Oh, yeah.
that. All right. Anything else, production truck?
Tuesday Night Dojo, I'm still working on someone to come defend. Folks, if you're interested in defending the house, I got special prizes for you if you defend the house. So be in contact with me, and maybe we'll talk about it. Wednesday night will be Talking Universe. No match scheduled after, thankfully. Thursday night, ETU will happen this Thursday. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce Mr. Rambo Apocalypse will be on the Universe. He will be officially in the LFF this Thursday. Val got that turnaround time on stuff. What an artist. What an artist.
Indeed.
When it suits him.
Hell yeah.
All right.
And then Sunday Night Fights next week. We have a bunch of matches. First off, the first match of the night will be the United States title match as Bob Dunn defends against PK Possum Kang.
I got something to say to Possum Kang too.
Oh, I love this.
All right.
Following that match will be I'm gonna work with the Trios Tournament of Champions Finals, followed by the Trios title match where Aaron 64 will take on Chris Pate, and then the Underworld title match where Drew Matson will take on the illustrious Javi Luster.
Flush.
Our stream is going to crash from all the ladies.
Oh god.
All right, wonderful. But
Three of them.
Yep. Yeah, all three.
Now hold on.
I was going to throw to you.
Here.
I was about to throw it to you.
Oh, go ahead, baby. You got it.
Yes. My God. Thank you, production truck. Now with some really special announcements on some upcoming festivities, we got Rambo Apocalypse. What do we got, buddy?
Much. Appreciate that. Mr. CCC to all the other accolades we can add as well. I should have brought my broom up here. I totally forgot it. So anyways, so as you've already heard, Thursday you will be graced with my presence on ETU. It's going to be great. Can't wait. It's going to be a great time. But Wednesday, Ignite is back, baby. We have the prize fighter that's going to be on Ignite. But I have a main event tag team match lined up for you as the higher class, Charles, the Hollywood heavyweight champion, and the AC online champion, the chosen one, Colby Cram, will be teaming up to take on the Enforcer and a tag team partner of his choosing. So that's going to be the main event of Ignite.
We know it won't be anybody from Kentucky because they don't have any internet.
They have to be at Larry's house.
It's correct.
It could be Fury. Who knows?
Oh God!
Just as long as it's not this
Please no, don't do this. You're going to summon him like Edo. What are you doing? So, anyways, we got Friday night. So no official Candy Shop talk will be Friday night, but we do have a tag team match which will feature the Possum Kang and who is it, Drew? Is it Possum Kang and Trey?
Oh, absolutely.
Versus
Gangrel,
baby.
Colin and who else is it? Is it
Hogfather?
The Hogfather, baby.
So
get
you'll
ready
have
to crank
that featured
it.
match on Friday night. No guests because Saturday night is Spring Breakdown, and what a lineup we have for you. You do not want to miss this, as we're going to have the prize fighter in the house. Yasmin has joined the Hollywood heavyweight division. We've got Sean Lowe versus the Frequent Flyer. We've got in the old school Open finals, we have the Back versus the SRG Joker. We have, what else do we got? We got the Norseman versus the Influencer. We have the AC Online Championship, which will feature El Hombre Cibernetico, our champion, taking on the Chosen One, Colby Cram. And then in the main event, you have Charles, the Hollywood Heavyweight Champion, taking on the Enforcer. Can the higher class walk away with all the gold from the big picture that night? Tune in to find out. As also, we'll have Foreman's event going on, and she will be streaming that simultaneously in the chat or in the group, whatever, for you to watch. So, huge night on Saturday night.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Rambo
There we go.
Apocalypse. All right, but folks, production truck, anything else? All right, folks, that is it for us from Sunday Night Prize Fights. Thank you to the Spiders. Congratulations to Brock Smith again. And until next time, can I get a bye, man?
What a wonderful
Bye, man.
Bye, man.
See you next time.